If you're learning Blender, one of the most important things to understand is how selection modes work. Because in Blender, selection is everything. The way you select determines whether you're editing the whole object or just the tiny building blocks that make it up, like vertices, edges, and faces. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to adjust selection modes in Blender, how to switch between object mode and edit mode, how to use vertex, edge, and face selection, and how to make selecting through your mesh much easier with shortcuts like select shortest path and X-ray mode. If this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit like and subscribe for more Blender tips and tutorials. Alright, let's jump in. First, you need to understand the difference between object mode and edit mode. If you are in object mode, you are working with the entire object as one piece. That means you can move it, rotate it, scale it, duplicate it, and select the whole thing at once. But if you want to change the actual shape of the model itself, you need edit mode. Edit mode is where Blender lets you work on the geometry directly. You can adjust points, connect edges, and reshape surfaces in a much more detailed way. The easiest way to switch between these two modes is by pressing Tab on your keyboard. So if you're in object mode, press Tab to go into edit mode. Press Tab again to go back. This one shortcut is something you'll use constantly in Blender, so it's worth getting comfortable with it right away. Now, once you are inside edit mode, you'll notice that Blender gives you three different selection modes. These are vertex select, edge select, and face select. You can find the icons for these in the top left area of the 3D viewport, and you can also switch between them using the number row on your keyboard. Just remember, this is the regular number row, not the numpad. Let's start with vertex select. Press 1 on your keyboard and Blender switches to vertex selection mode. A vertex is a single point in the mesh. This mode is best when you need very precise control over the shape of something, like pulling corners, refining a silhouette, or making small adjustments to a model. If you want to move a corner of a cube, for example, vertex select is what you use. Next is edge select. Press 2 on your keyboard and Blender switches to edge mode. An edge is the line connecting two vertices. This mode is especially useful when you want to work on the structure of the model, such as adding detail, adjusting loops, or doing bevel work. If you've ever wanted to sharpen or soften a shape in Blender, edge selection is usually the mode you'll reach for. Then there's face select. Press 3 on your keyboard and Blender switches to face mode. A face is the flat surface created by edges. This mode is very useful when you want to extrude, delete, move, or modify larger sections of a model at once. If you're selecting the front of a wall, the side of a box, or a section of a character mesh, face select gives you a faster way to work. A lot of Blender beginners get confused because they try to edit a model while still in object mode. If you can't select the vertices, edges, or faces you expect to see, the first thing to check is whether you're actually in edit mode. That one detail solves a lot of problems very quickly. So if selection isn't behaving the way you want, just tap Tab and verify that you're in the correct mode. Now, let's talk about select shortest path. This is a really helpful selection trick when you want Blender to select a smooth route between two elements. Here's how it works. Select one element first, then hold Ctrl and select another element. Blender will automatically select everything in the shortest path between those 2 points. This is especially useful when you want to grab a row of edges or a line of vertices without manually clicking every single one. For example, if you're working on a model and want to select a clean edge loop across part of the mesh, select shortest path can save you a lot of time. It's one of those tools that feels small at first, but once you start using it, you'll wonder how you ever worked without it. Another very useful feature is X-ray mode. Sometimes when you try to select parts of your model, Blender only lets you grab the faces in the front. That can be frustrating if you're trying to select vertices or faces on the back side of the object. To fix that, you can turn on X-ray mode by pressing Alt+Z. Once X-ray mode is enabled, the mesh becomes semi-transparent. That means you can see through it and select geometry on the other side. This is incredibly useful for box modeling, character modeling, or any situation where you need to manipulate both the front and back of a mesh more efficiently. If you turn it off, Blender goes back to normal solid view, so it's easy to toggle whenever you need it. So let's quickly recap. Use Tab to switch between object mode and edit mode. In edit mode, use 1 for vertices, 2 for edges, and 3 for faces. Use Ctrl to select the shortest path between elements, and use Alt+Z to enable X-ray mode when you need to select through your mesh. Once you get comfortable with these selection modes, Blender becomes much faster and much easier to control. Instead of fighting the interface, you'll start working with it, and that makes a huge difference in how quickly you can model and edit objects. If this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe for more Blender tutorials, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.